a Bay Area legend on the line here on the River Islands guest line, Jason Kidd, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. And he's one of our own. We always forget he's from the Bay. From Oakland, California, the NBA champ back in 2011. Multiple All-Stars, 10 of them to be exact. An All-NBA first team 5 times. Second team, Cal Berkeley legend. Jason Kidd, good morning, man. Welcome to the Morning Roast. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, Bonte Hill. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's tough during the season, especially after a game yesterday in Denver, but we appreciate you spending some time with us this morning.
I appreciate you guys having me. Anything for the Bay.
Anything for the... Yep. Go. And what is it like for you to return to the Bay all the time, man? People forget how you put the Bay Area on the map, man. You, Gary Payton, the Pro-Ams at Kezar Pavilion. You are one of us.
Yeah, it's always great to come home. It's a little rainy today, but it's always good to see the Bay Bridge. It's always good to see family and friends. And then also, you know, whenever I do come back, we're always playing the Warriors. If they're not winning a championship, they always are a team that's fighting for a championship. So it'll be fun. As you brought up, Clay's first time back, so we're excited to be here and have practice today, and then we'll play the game tomorrow.
Yeah. B, you didn't reference his time at St. Joe's, where he was just an absolute legend.
Two-time California Mr. Basketball, of course.
Just an absolute legend. You were pretty much everybody's favorite non-Warrior outside of the Warriors. Like, everybody loved watching you play. And you've done some great things for girls basketball in this area. Obviously, you and Armando and what used to be Golden City, now it's Jason Kidd and Jason Kidd Select, the team. My niece was playing for you guys for the longest time, Megan, and I love that you are like at that grassroots level for basketball, for, you know, the girls game and specifically, and you've done some great work out here. And I just, from, I guess, the perspective of all the parents and the kids that have been in that program, thank you, Jason.
No, I appreciate that, but I want to say thank you for trusting us with a family member and understanding that we love women's sports. I love women's sports. It's grown. It's got the attention that it needs, and it's continuing to grow. But when you talk about you know, what Armando is doing to help run that program, and then also our biggest sponsor, Laughing Monkey, Laughing Monk, that you have the food that you guys are having breakfast. I'm jealous. But it's exciting because I think the young ladies in the Bay Area last year, the teams went over to Croatia to play this next summer. They'll be going to Greece. And so we're just trying to give them the light of the world, of being able to see different parts of the world and play the game of basketball that we all love.
And Jason, you mentioned your select program. Over 40 Division I players came from your program. It's really, truly remarkable. You're sending them not only to the next level, they're getting their education, and as you just mentioned, they get to travel the world. And now we have the Jason Kidd Invitational at Haas Pavilion, December 14th, and Laughing Monk will be a sponsor for that Invitational. So I want to know from the grassroots, what made you involved, or what got you going when it came to girls basketball, especially high school girls basketball?
Yeah, you know, I think when you think about Kobe and what he was doing for the women's game, and unfortunately the passing of Kobe, I just felt that I wanted to help and continue his legacy and help women's sports. And so that really ignited the idea of the select team here in the Bay, and doing it back at home. And so that's where it all started. And again, it's been 5 years, as you brought up the invitation at Cal. And so we're just trying to do as much as we can to give the women the opportunity to go to school and fulfill their dream. And if that's playing in the WNBA or becoming the next president of the United States, or the next doctor. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, you're now coaching Klay Thompson and all the Dallas Mavericks, and been there for a couple of years now. And B and I were just kind of kicking it around. Like, Dwight Clark was beloved and a legend, and he only played for the Niners. Montana didn't come back to Candlestick and play at Candlestick. And Jerry Rice, when he went to the Raiders, he played the games in Oakland, but never had a road game. This is so unique, having a legend like Klay Thompson that is beloved by Warrior fans come back while he's playing in another uniform and playing one of the homes that he built, which is Chase Center. Have you had a chance to kind of talk to him about what it might be like for him walking into that arena and hearing and seeing all the fans, you know, giving him a standing ovation that he deserves?
Yeah, we talked the other day about this opportunity. It really doesn't happen a lot, when you do leave a team that you've been with your whole career, to have the opportunity to come back and play, as you brought up the home that he built with Chase, and then also the excitement in the championships over in Oakland at the Coliseum. And so just understanding it's going to be an emotional 2 days here when you talk about today with practice and then tomorrow's game. And so my thoughts was to enjoy it, to embrace it, and have fun with it.
Jason Kidd here on the River Islands Guest Line on Warner Ross on 95.7 The Game. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, Bonte Hill, and Jason. When you did court Klay Thompson and you guys signed Klay Thompson, I remember thinking, damn, he's going to see so many wide open looks playing off of Luka and Kyrie Irving. What has he been like in Dallas? Because he's a free spirit out here. We love Captain Klay. We love Rocco Klay. We love China Klay. We had all these different nicknames for him. How's he integrated with this new team here with Luka and Kyrie at the head of the snake here, Gafford there, and of course you coaching?
Yeah, I think he's done an incredible job. As when you talk about Luka and Kai, two of the best in the league, and now we add Klay, and I think Klay is a perfect fit for us. He's finding his way. Those two are making sure that he's getting touches and making sure that he's comfortable, and it just takes time. And I think as we go through here, we've had 2 games that have come down to the last shot, and so we're going through some battles, and we're learning each other. But I think Klay is a champion. He's been there before. He understands it's a marathon. It's not just 1 game or 2 games, but it's 82, and we're very lucky to have his leadership and his his ability to shoot it, but also to be able to defend and help take some of the pressure off of Klay and Kai.
This generation of basketball players is so different from when you played, Jason, and a lot of people do it for the clicks or whatnot. How refreshing is it to have a player like Luka, Kyrie, and then you add in Klay Thompson, who's all about ball, plays all about getting buckets and playing ball at the highest level? How refreshing is that for you as a coach? Because it seems like you don't have to, he's not a high-maintenance type of guy, right?
No, they're pros. All 3 of those guys you just mentioned are pros. They're about winning. They have one goal in mind, that's to win a championship. And so, understanding that they're not high maintenance, they're about doing their work and finding a way to win.
As a lover of sports in general, there's so many great combos. Gronk and Brady, or Joe and Jerry, Pippen and Jordan. Let's just stick with basketball. Steph and Klay, like when they were together, it's as good of a combo. Clearly as a backcourt combo, but like Jordan, Pippen, Kobe and Shaq, LeBron and Dwayne Wade, like are they up there with those combinations when they were together?
Yeah, they're definitely up there with those combinations. You talk about the Splash Brothers, the uniqueness of how they played the game, how they played for one another and helped each other achieve the highest goals, and that's to win a championship. And for 2 of the best shooters of all time to be on the same team is unique in its own right. But they loved to play. They knew how to win. They learned how to win. And so, yes, that combination will go down as one of the best combinations in the NBA.
What was more impressive to you? And there's no wrong answer here, Coach, but 37 points in a quarter or 60 points on 11 dribbles, Klay Thompson?
I take both of them any day.
Have you ever scored 37 and a half, Jason? That's what I know. This guy scored 37 and a quarter. Wilt, in his 100-point game, Chris Mullen on the pregame show, he says, Wilt he didn't even score 37 and a quarter when he had 100. Have you ever scored 37 and a half, Jay?
No, that's impressive, right, the 37, but I think the dribble, being able to not have to dribble to score is kind of special in its own right. And so, but both of them are incredible feats, and as I said, as a coach, I'll take both of those.
Draymond's he's got his podcast, and he says a lot of stuff about how, obviously everyone's going to get emotional, and they're going to honor Klay. Then when the ball gets tipped up, we got to play, we got to play, and everybody brings up Kobe running through Paul Gasol at the USA Dream Team or Redeem Team a few years back. Did you ever have a teammate that you went to another team and you and him had maybe an altercation on the floor?
I haven't, but I understand that, Draymond use that reference of Kobe and Kobe's teammate on that dream team or
On the redeem team,
team. Yeah, the redeem team. So just understand Kobe said it and we didn't believe it, but he did it. and he knew exactly what play they were going to run and he did it. But, Kobe was, he was on a mission. He wanted to win the gold medal and Spain was in our way, and so he wanted to make sure he sent the message that we're friends, but right now you're the enemy, and I'm here to try to find a way to win, and I'll do whatever it takes.
And knowing Klay Thompson, coach, that he's going to have that same mentality as well. It's like once the ball gets tipped off, I love all the Captain Klay has, but I'm trying to hit 5 threes on you in the first quarter, and we're trying to get a win and get our season back on track here. What do you remember about going to your former teams? Obviously, you get drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, and you guys had a lot of expectations. A young core with Jamal Masburn and Jim Jackson, but what was it like going back to Dallas? What was it like going back to Phoenix? Do you remember the first time going back to a former team, coach?
Yeah, it was. It's emotional because you always think you're going to be there forever, and unfortunately, business sometimes gets in the way, and things change. But I think you guys brought up a good point. There are emotions, but once the ball goes up, you're trying to figure out how to get the W, how to play your best game, and then have fun doing it, and then be able to talk to some of the people that you spent a lot of time with after the game.
I'm watching your team from afar last year. You guys made some great deadline acquisitions, and you did a great job kind of implementing things on the fly. It just felt like you were a totally different team making your way all the way to the finals. What was the hardest part in incorporating Kyrie and Luka and balancing that out? As a former point guard yourself, like how did you kind of struggle with that and work throughout the year?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a struggle. I think it was more of just patience and giving these two time. They're artists with the ball. They understand how to play the game at a high level. And it was just a matter of being able to have time under their belt to get used to each other. And sometimes we want instant, day one for it to look good or be perfect. But I think when you talk about the sport or human element, it just takes time. And once they figured each other out, they took off. And that was a big reason what helped us, get to the finals last year. And we believe, that's kind of the space we are right now with Klay. Just give us a little time and we're going to get these three on the same page and we're going to roll.
JC, hey, now you jog my memory here because I do want to get back to the JC Kidd Select program and what you have going on with that. And we have some thank yous that I want to read off for you. But you brought us up last year. It was so funny, the clip, and we played it on our pregame show, where you asked the reporter, you go, do you guys ever write anything good about us? Like, do we celebrate? And we always talk about this on this show. When the Niners lose, our phone lines are packed. Everybody wants to rip everybody. Everybody wants to fire everybody. There's all this instant gratification, and there's no perspective here. But yet when they win, they won. Great. What is it about the way the game is covered now? Because we see the ratings, and I love the NBA. Shasky loves the NBA. But it is the way it's covered where everybody wants to pick apart everything and saying, hey, if this guy doesn't win the championship, he's a bum. Or if this team doesn't win here, they're done. What happened to perspective in the sports world, Coach? Can you figure that one out?
No, I don't even want to touch that. I think when you just, everyone has the right to their opinion, but again, the league is so talented, and there are some really good teams, and we ran into one last year in Boston. But Golden State, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, there's stars on every team, and understanding if you're playing your best basketball at the right time, you have a chance. But there's no guarantee to anyone to win a championship. You gotta go earn it. You gotta go take it. But I think that's what makes sports fun, is that everybody has an opinion, and a lot of times some people are right, and a lot of times on the other side of that coin, people are wrong. And so I think that's what makes sport as a fan, and that's why we play it.
Yeah, I don't think people appreciate the greatness enough on a day-to-day basis that you athletes here, especially in the NBA, that you guys do on a consistent basis with all the traveling, all the games, going into Rockets arenas or whatnot. The game's played at the highest level it's ever been at. So I do want to read some thank yous here, Coach. And we appreciate the time again. Jason Kidd here on the Morning Roast on the River Islands guest line. Guy from Sonoma, Liam Fairfield, says he won a contest several years ago on another radio station that allowed his son to attend the Jason Kidd basketball camp in Sonoma. He said he never got the chance to thank him for saving my son from going in the wrong direction. Jason is the best, and he can't thank him enough. And so that's one thank you from a camp you had 7 years ago. And I think with these young ladies, you're doing the same thing, Coach. So I think you should pat yourself on the back for that because Jason Kidd Select is saving a lot of lives.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. We need to do another camp in Sonoma. That was a great camp. But it's not just me, but it takes a lot of people to make this happen. And so Armando, when you talk about Laughing Monk, our biggest sponsor, they're the people that we should thank because they're the ones that do it. But also the parents for trusting us with their young ones to push them and also to tell them the truth. And it's all about hard work. And if you do that, good things will happen.
Coach, I'm going to go way back in the yesteryear. Obviously, everyone's going to talk about the behind-the-back plays against Duke and you guys knocking them off. I'm going to go even more local. I remember when it was rumored you were coming out to the Pro-Am out at Kezar. And my boy Reggie Milligan was working the board. And all of us kids, you were our favorite player. And you came out. There was like Brian Shaw, Bennett Davidson. I believe the young Eddie House might have been out there.
Antonio Davis was out there.
There were so many guys. Like the Pro-Am and playing at Kezar. Did you realize how big of a thing it was for an NBA superstar and co-rookie of the year like yourself to like show up and dominate the Pro-Am? Because that was like some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen as a young man. It formulated my love of the game of basketball.
Well, I used to love playing at Kezar. I thought that was incredible because the fans that would come out. Trail Hill was another favorite one of mine to be able to go on the hill and play. And so I love to play basketball. I love the competition. But the fans came out for sure for the Pro-Am. And it was nothing like playing in the Pro-Am in the summer in San Francisco.
No doubt.
What about the boat? Have you had a chance to get on Clay's boat?
Well, Clay doesn't have a boat in Dallas, right? Because you guys only have lakes out there. Tell us about the Texas life with Klay Thompson.
Yeah, we only have lakes, so I have not been on the Clay boat yet, but at some point.
We got to get Clay to get on the boat for tomorrow's game. Or you allow that, Coach? He's like, no, we're all on the team bus. I'm making sure you get to safe and sound. Navigate the Bay Area waters here, Coach. Come on now.
I'm going to stay on land and I'll wait to play boat as it goes by.
Last one before we get you out again. We thank you for the time with the Jason Kidd Select program. Don't forget about the Jason Kidd Invitational at Haas Pavilion, December 14th. Laughing Monk will be sponsoring that. They have breakfast for us today, and we love them for coming up from Sunnyvale this morning. But the women's game, the girls' game, it feels like it's at an all-time high, and it's only getting better, Coach. I was going to ask you whether or not you had plans on maybe after your NBA career, maybe you're coaching women's basketball or whatnot, but where the game is going and where it can go. Can you talk about the growth of the women's game?
Yeah, I think when you talk about the women's game, the growth is incredible. The platforms that they are on, the viewership. When you talk about the highest level of the WNBA, they've added a team here in San Francisco that will be online, and then I think you have Toronto and I think Portland.
Yeah, Portland. Yep.
Yes, coming online here in the next couple of years, and so it just shows the growth, not just in women's basketball but also in soccer. And it's great for our country, but for our young ladies to have an opportunity to play the game at the highest level without having to go abroad. And so I think it's great.
Coach, this was great. It's always fun talking to you. We love you here in the Bay Area. Yep. This will always be your home. You know that. Just good luck for the rest of the season, except for tomorrow. You know, we're still Dub fans, but we want Clay to do well, and we do like watching Mavericks basketball, man. You guys are much watched on NBA League Pass. So, Coach, thanks for the time today. Good luck the rest of the season.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jason Kidd here on the Morning Roast, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Kidd Select. Check out their program. They're going to Greece this year. They were in Croatia last year. Your niece played for Jason Kidd Select.
7-8 years.
Yep, 7-8 years when they were Golden City. And Jason Kidd has come in, and he's taken this program to the next level, along with the help of Mondo, along with the help of Laughing Monk, of course. So women's basketball, man, it's growing and growing and growing.
Absolutely. And, giving a lot of young women opportunities to go to places they've never been, play and get exposure at places that, they would never get that kind of exposure. It's about those experiences, right? Obviously, playing basketball is just one element of it. And, he's at the forefront of it. I just remember being a young kid going to Kezar for Pro-Am games. And I know it's kind of been lost the last couple of years because they're remodeling Kezar. I don't know what the exact status is currently, but seeing Jason Kidd show up a local guy,
Yeah.
to Kezar, he was a rock star.
No, he was. Well, his games were on Con 4 back in the day when he was at St. Joe's.
Yep.
And they were playing for state championships.
Yep.
And so he's two-time California Mr. Basketball, and you're wondering, like, man, he's a McDonald's All-American. He could go to any school in the country.
He's a man among boys.
And he picks Cal Berkeley. And he goes to Cal Berkeley with Todd Bozeman and Lamar Murray and Monty Buckley and Randy Duck. And they have a signature run, Sweet 16 run.
Grigsby was on the
Al
second
Grigsby.
year.
Al Grigsby.
Yeah. He was like a 10-year senior.
Because his back kept giving out, right? Back injuries
That
were
team
no
was
joke.
a lot of fun.
Team was a lot of fun.